Hello again, everyone. Today you find me mid-ponder. I've got a fancy for using one of my Alexandra Renke butterflies. I've got about 3 of these. I don't know if she makes them anymore, but I managed to get 2 of them from Miser Print, but I don't think they have any left there now either. However, I saw online somewhere where they had used kind of graded shades of colour for 3 different butterflies, going from light to dark, or darker. And so I thought I wanted to try something similar, but I'm not quite sure how or what or whatever. You may have heard me say that people often send me things so kindly. Sometimes it's because, you know, they want to see what they could do with those things, or they may have had a surplus, or they may have bought twice, as I often do, I have to say. And some time ago, I was really kindly sent this set of printed vellum. And I have used some before, and I thought I would try and use some again today. The one I'm using here, I don't know if you can actually see this, but this has got some music manuscript on it. Can you see it there? So I've cut 2 already, and it's rather difficult, I think, to get lines of things absolutely parallel where you want them. So if you put them at an angle, the eye is probably a bit more confused about whether it's straight or whether it's not straight. So that's what I've done. However, I did also try and engage a cunning plan with my die. It's got these little holes in which you can use to push the die cut out if it gets stuck in there. So what I was doing was using these little holes to line up against the music stave so that I got the same angle on each die cut. So I'm using the same line of music, and I'm putting this hole over the bottom line of the stave and that one over the top of the line above. So it's going to be kind of there. Hopefully that is going to do the job for me. So I'll just cut this one out, the last one, to prise it off my bottom. There it is. Can you see it? I'll just put them on the blue. You might be able to see them rather better. 1, 2, and 3. So and I'm thinking that they're going to be my top layer. I had a look on Penguin this morning to see if they had any backgrounds that would give me the sort of colour I was after. And the sort of colour I was after was Speckled egg. I love this soft blue. But the ones I got were a little bit too vibrant. I'll show you the ones I downloaded. That was one, which is a, you know, sky blue, and that one. This one actually only has one side like that, so I just put the page in twice, and so I've got more colour on there. I did wonder about covering that with vellum, which would tone down the shades. Likewise with this one. There's a piece of plain vellum here. Can you see? It just softens it. This one particularly, which is really quite strong. Can you see? It does tone it down quite a bit. However, it's still not quite the colour that I had in my head. The colour that I had in my head was this kind of thing. So I'm going to see if I can do it myself. I've got 3 little squares that I cut with one of my press cut dies. I've cut 1 layer of the butterfly out with, I don't know which way around they're supposed to go, actually. I've done it as kind of that way round. With this one is the vellum one, which I'm going to put on the top. And then, of course, there's the body. And I don't even know if that's the right body for this. One of them goes with the things this way. So I don't know. It's a body. It's fine. So this was the offcut from my card base, from which I have been cutting my little elements. So now I want to try and shade these three with the speckled egg, starting with the palest and then getting deeper. Let's just see how we get on. So let's try the palest one. Let's move those out of the way just for the minute. All right. Just a very gentle bit of colour. I have actually used this piece of card on the reverse side because it's really quite, it's an old bit of textured card that I've had for a long time. I think it was Hessian, and it's really, it's quite, you know, it's quite marked. Even the flat side is coming out with quite a bit of weave. Okay, let's just see how that's doing. I'd like it fairly even, I think. Okay, let's try the next one. We want it a bit deeper than that. Doesn't look like much on there. Put it against the white and it looks really coloured, doesn't it? A bit more. Might have to wait until this layer's dried and then do some more. Okay, and this one. Go back to this one. Okay, let me see if I can get it a bit deeper doing this. Okay. Let those dry and see if I can get those two a little bit darker presently. Let's see what these look like on the white. That one still needs to be darker, doesn't it? Perhaps I won't bother with it. Let's just see. Let me do some bodies. I'm going to use pumice stone for this. Cut some bodies out. Okay, there's the third one. I just must wipe this now because that was just inked and die cut straight away. I've got some ink on my plate, so I'm just going to give that a wipe before I forget and then get it transferred to the next thing I put through the machine. Let's see if we can get a bit more colour onto this one. Let that dry for a little while. It's this middle layer I'm thinking about now, and I do need a sentiment. When I'm back, I've looked through my sentiments and decided on one of these negative ones again. And there's a dear little one that says, "Let your dreams take flight." So I've done it in my stamping platform with pumice stone ink. I'm just going to cut that out, but I've been wondering about these layers, and I couldn't decide if I wanted the vellum on the top of the white, or whether I wanted it below the white, or whether I wanted anything else stamped on the white. And I've just been, you know, so indecisive, it's almost untrue. But I think I'll go ahead with what I was thinking of doing, and that is just put the vellum on top of the white and then have a pumice stone middle. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've been playing around for ages. You would not believe. I stopped the video to start looking for a sentiment, and I looked twice at the card, and you know, you second guess yourself, don't you? You think, oh, should I have done this? Should I have done that? And all the rest of it. And I think, you know, sometimes you should just go with your first idea and leave it at that. There's always another day when you can do something a little bit different. So there is my sentiment. Let your dreams take flight. Some of these are, I have to say, these sentiments are a little bit dimply. Do you know what I mean by that? Dimply. There's like, this one had a little ding just after dreams where the ink didn't want to go. I did try warming it just a little bit to see how we got on with that, but anyway, I think once the stamps are conditioned, they will be easier to do anyway. So what I think I'm going to do is mount each butterfly on each square and then put the squares onto foam tape so that they've just got a little bit of dimension. So there we go. Now, some foam tape on this. I had 2 goes at this, as you can see. I tried the other side, and I thought too much of the actual lettering had got ink on, or the gaps where the lettering is indicated. So I decided to try again on the other side. It's really clean and simple, this one, isn't it? Okay, I am back. I had an emergency just then, had to go off. My husband was trying to get Radio 3 playing on our smart speaker, and Alexa was having none of it. So he is now listening to Radio 3. So hopefully all will be well. Now I've put some glue stick on the back of the foam tape, so I've just got a little bit of manoeuvrability, and we'll pop these on next door to each other, like, but that doesn't look quite right to me. Okay. Do you know, I'm better at doing things by eye than I am trying to measure, to be perfectly honest. Right. Here's my sentiment. Perhaps that's not 15. Didn't measure it. Let your dreams take flight. There we go. I think we'll have a little shimmer on the vellum. And on the bodies. There we go. So let your dreams take flight. Absolutely clean and simple. Simple die cuts, with the die cuts cut from the offcut of making the base. So one piece of card being used with the addition of a little vellum. which was a gift from a lovely crafter. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and giving a thumbs up, and come back and see me very soon.